Yo, what's up, guys? And welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's the FPL Pundit here, and we're going to be doing a Kneejerk and team review for Game Week 3. So, guys, if you're new to my channel, please hit the subscribe button, turn on the post notification icon so as to get notified anytime that I post a new video. So, guys, yeah, back to what we were saying. How did your game week go? My game week was, I would say it was okay. I used my wild card. I had my team selection for game week 3, and I would just say I performed a little bit above average. So quickly, the first thing we are going to do is would quickly do a review of the game week, of how most teams performed, the matches, how they went. So the first we have here is Manchester City, Arsenal. We know how that match went. Aston Villa against Brentford. My prediction against Man City Arsenal wasn't exact. I didn't really expect this game to turn out like this, although I have no Arsenal player or Manchester City player. So that was how that game went. Aston Villa against Brighton. I had Gaia in my team. I had Gaia in my team, sorry, Raya and Pinnock in my team. So they weren't really able to give me clean sheet, but um, at least I got like about 5 points combined from both players. So Brighton against Everton, I don't have any Everton player as I took out Richarlison at the deadline of the transfer. So I that was who I replaced with Wilson, Callum Wilson. So Newcastle Southampton, it was a great game. I didn't watch the game, but I was actually happy. I picked Callum Wilson to be in my squad, and it turned out to have given me 9 points. So Norwich, Leicester City, I have no player from those teams. West Ham, Crystal Palace. So while I used my wild card, I brought in Benrahma and Antonio, and it looks like Antonio is the best thing that has happened to my FPL since the game week, since after the game week 1. So Liverpool Chelsea, what a very tight match! What a very tight match! I have about 4 players from, no, 5 players. Both side, both teams mix up to 50 or 49% of my squad, as I have Reece James and Lukaku. Then I have 3 players from Liverpool: Salah, Simikas, and Joe Matip. So that was how the game went on Saturday. So on Sunday, I had the likes of players from Spurs. I have the likes of Son, that's Son, and I had Traore. So far, Wolves have been disappointing. They've been disappointing me despite the faith I put in them. They've been really disappointing me despite the faith that I put in them. And I got nothing from Traore, just 2 points, and I really don't know if I should keep on being patient with Wolves players, or I should just take them off until I see significant improvement from the team. They've lost 3 games so far this season, and that's unlike Wolves. And I think the reason why they are having this crisis is because of the new system. You know, their former coach are headed to Spurs, and they're back with a new system. So let's just see how that goes. So now, hopefully, after the international break, we'll see some of these teams come back to shape. So if you look at it, my final points for the week is 63 points, where most managers had an average of 54 points. And I would say since my FPL game weeks, game week 1, 2, 3, I could say this is quite a significant improvement from the first 2 game weeks. If you look at the previous game weeks, in game week 1 I had 71 points, whereas the average point was 69. So that means I was around the average score. And in game week 2, I finished with 44 points, which was way below the average point, which made me rank about 5.8 million for that game week. And if you look at to this game week, I had 63 points after playing my wild card. The highest point had 119. The average point was 54, and my game week rank was 1.8 million of all managers. Now, if you see this, this is a significant improvement, and I would say the overhauling of my team was actually worth it. So now, looking at the team review for the game week that just concluded, we would see that I had some significant significant things happen in my team that actually decided how I finished. Now, thanks to Son, who was my captain, who in my captaincy video, I made him the number one captain any manager should have this weekend. Actually turned out very well. Salah too turned out very well. They scored the same points, so that isn't really much of a big deal since I have two players who scored about the same points. So even if I had Captain Salah or Captain Son or even Antonio, I would have still done as good as I did. So now the major highlights, or should I say the major lowlights rather, from my game week was Reece James and Kyle Walker. Starting with Kyle Walker, I would say that if when my previous team selection before the game week started had Laporte in the lineup, not Walker. But then I looked at making a few adjustments, and I saw that, oh, Walker is playing against Arsenal. He's going to be playing from a position where he is going to be more involved in the attacking phase. So let me just take out Laporte and bring in Walker. And Guardiola just did what is always been doing to managers, and I think it's one of the reasons why a lot of managers tend to avoid players from City, because Guardiola is just so flexible, just so fluid that he makes unpredictable changes. So now we saw Kyle Walker went off the pitch, being substituted in for Zinchenko around the 40 something minute. I think close to the first half ending, he was substituted, and or probably at halftime he was substituted, and this kind of took a toll on the points Walker should have had. Walker was able to have just 1 point. He didn't even have complete points for appearance. He had just 1 point despite having clean sheet. He was not awarded clean sheet because he didn't play up to 60 minutes. Now, if you look at Reece James, I just brought in Reece James to my squad and blow after a wonderful performance last week. This week is ending his game week with a red card, which actually took a toll on him as well. We see that he played for the 7 minutes. He had 1 assist, and the red card he got actually took away that point he had scored. So now now looking at my squad right now, we'll notice the necessary decision I have to make instantly. We would see that I think many managers are already transferring out Reece James currently, and if you look at this is the top transfer out players this week. Tsimikas is the number one player that has been transferred out, followed by Ings, and James comes third. Richarlison comes fourth. A lot of managers are already selling out Fernandes, and I think this is because of the arrival of Ronaldo. Now we're going to be seeing a lot of price drops from these players, and currently the only player I own from this top transfers out is Tsimikas and James. So we look at the top transfers for this game week so far. We see a lot of more managers are putting their faith in Antonio. Everybody wants Antonio. Immediately just transfer Ferran Torres, despite everybody not even knowing exactly how this player makes the cut for the Manchester City team. Berama too is getting more traction. A lot of managers are bringing him in, and one of the interesting transfers that looks predictable that would have happened is this Alonso transfer. So a lot of managers seem to still want to have Chelsea defenders because of clean sheets and because of what they have to offer in the attack. So now, definitely I was also thinking of taking out Reece James and replacing him with Alonso, since they are about the same price. So we see that a lot of managers are already doing that, and in no time Alonso's price is going to be going up. Jumara Gray too is being transferred in by many managers. So that's that about it. Back to the team review. back to the team review. So Salah was able to get a goal against Chelsea. That's actually went against my prediction, as I sentimentally said Salah was not going to be able to do anything against Chelsea. So I was wrong. I was wrong, and Salah still performed against Chelsea. I know a lot of Chelsea fans will be happy that Arnold wasn't able to get anything out of that match because of how it has been for the past two head-to-head games. So Son too didn't disappoint. He got a free kick, direct free kick goal from the match, and that was the only goal of that match. So thank God I didn't transfer in Harry Kane. I was looking at it, though Harry Kane isn't ready to be in my squad. So the only person I was quite disappointed with from that game was Lukaku, but I still don't blame him up to an extent, as because the red card actually changed the phase of the whole game. Chelsea went from trying to win the match to trying to like salvage out something from that match, which they did very well. They fantastically defended against a strong Liverpool, even despite having one man down. So Callum Wilson also didn't disappoint me. He did very well, did great in this match. He scored one goal and got complete 3 bonus points, which shows that he had a lot of contributions to make in that match. Now, since the beginning of Premier League up to now, we see Antonio has been having double figures, and it has happened here again. That's happened here again in his first match. He got 13 points, second match 16 points, and now 11 points. So I think he's the first and only manager to have double points in 3 game weeks consecutively. That is from the start of the season up to now. And coming up to now, one thing about my bench didn't have much. It was just basically everything you see on my bench is just there. I think it's a good idea the way I set up the team for game week 3. So now there's something I want us to understand about the momentum. Now that we are having an international break, we could actually see a lot of things change ahead of game week 4, ahead of the resumption from the break, because you know there's this thing about momentum. When a team has a momentum, they come in every match and try to, like, win the match, or a player, they try to just keep that good performance going. But once there is a break in transmission, or there's a break in that performance, it kind of probably affects their whole game, and it's possible it changes their whole game. So still will be watching out for Antonio, but as soon as you notice a change in his performance, as soon as you notice he isn't doing as well as he's supposed to, or the overall team isn't doing that much, you might start considering a better option, or to start looking elsewhere. So so far, let's look through the leagues I belong to. So the leagues I belong to, I think I went up high significantly amongst those leagues. And if you look at it, my general rank for the overall world is 3.1 million, all the way down from 3.9 million. I've climbed up over almost 900,000 plus managers, and I'm ranked about 3.1 million. So in the Chelsea league, we see I'm ranked about 334,000, Nigeria league 96,000, and that is that about the leagues I belong to. And I hope I'll continue to significantly push high up the tables and the leagues I belong to. So quickly, this is my Kneejerk for this game week. I'm taking out Reece James, and oh, Alonso is now worth 5.7, and I don't know. Okay, and I have just the exact amount of cash in my balance to sign Alonso. So Alonso is going to be replacing James for me for the next 3 game weeks. So let's confirm the transfer. So now this is now what my latest team looks like. Now I have Raya, Alonso, Walker, Pinnock, and the rest. Nothing has changed from my team. Callum Wilson looks like he's injured, but I think since there's an international break, he has time to heal up and get back in the squad. So guys, that is all. I think that will be all for today, as this is just a team review for the game week. So we have an international break, and I'll be providing you with a lot of content between now and the next 2 weeks ahead of game week 4. So guys, stick to my channel, hit the subscribe button, and in my next video I'm going to be doing a watch list video, or I'm just going to basically doing a lot of content around FPL this coming 14 weeks. Just stick to my channel, and as I release this video, please interact with them, subscribe to my YouTube channel, like my videos, share my videos, and I'll see you right in the next one. Peace.